Hello everyone, my name is Peter. Today, I want to talk to you about something very important. I want to talk about learning English. Maybe you have been learning English for a long time. Maybe you have studied English at school. Maybe you have learned hundreds of words. Maybe you have watched many English lessons. But sometimes you still feel that English is difficult. You may understand a little, but you cannot speak. You may know many words, but you cannot make a sentence quickly. You may understand your teacher, but when a native speaker talks to you, you feel lost. And sometimes you may think, maybe I am not good at English. Maybe English is too difficult for me. Maybe I am too old to learn English. But today I want to tell you something. English is not too difficult for you. You can learn it, you can improve it. And from today, learning English does not have to be difficult anymore. The most important thing is to change the way you learn. Many people think that learning English means memorizing thousands of words. They think they need to study grammar for many hours. They think they need to understand every sentence. They think they need to speak perfectly. But this way of thinking can make English feel very difficult. When I started learning English, I also made many mistakes. I wanted to understand everything. I wanted to remember every new word. I wanted to speak perfectly. And because of that, I often felt tired. Sometimes I even wanted to give up. Then I realized something very important. Learning English is not a race. You do not need to become fluent in one day. You only need to become a little better every day. That is the secret. Small progress is still progress. One new word is progress. One new sentence is progress. 10 minutes of listening is progress. Reading one short story is progress. Speaking English for 5 minutes is progress. You do not need to do something huge. You just need to keep going. Imagine that you want to climb a very high mountain. If you look at the top, you may feel scared. The mountain looks too high. You may think, how can I reach the top? But you do not need to reach the top today. You only need to take one step, then another step and another step. After many small steps, you will be much higher than where you started. Learning English is exactly the same. Do not focus too much on the final goal. Focus on today's step. Today, listen to English for 10 minutes. Today, learn 5 useful sentences. Today, read a short English story. Today, speak to yourself in English. Tomorrow, do it again. And the next day, do it again. After a few weeks, you will notice something. English will start to feel more familiar. After a few months, you will understand more. And after a longer period of consistent practice, you may suddenly realize, wow, I can actually understand English. This feeling is wonderful. But there is one important thing you need to remember. You do not need to learn everything. You only need to learn the English that you actually use. For example, you can start with simple sentences. How are you? I am fine. What are you doing? I am working. Where are you going? I am going home. What do you like? I like reading. These sentences are simple, but they are useful. And useful English is powerful English. You can use simple sentences every day. The more you use them, the more natural they become. You do not need complicated English to communicate. You need clear English. You need useful English. And most importantly, you need confidence. Many English learners have a big problem. They are afraid of making mistakes. They think, what if I say something wrong? What if people laugh at me? What if my pronunciation is not perfect? Because they are afraid of mistakes, they do not speak. And because they do not speak, they do not improve. This creates a circle. They are afraid to speak, so they do not practice. Because they do not practice, they do not improve. Because they do not improve, they become even more afraid. We need to break this circle. The best way is simple. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Mistakes are not your enemy. Mistakes are your teacher. When you make a mistake, you learn something. When you pronounce a word incorrectly, you have an opportunity to improve. When you use the wrong grammar, you discover what you need to practice, so do not be afraid. Speak, try, make mistakes, then try again. You do not need perfect English, you need brave English. You need English that you are willing to use. Let me give you an example. Imagine that you are learning to ride a bicycle. At first you may fall, you may lose your balance, you may feel nervous. But nobody expects you to ride perfectly on your first day. You practice, you fall, you stand up, you practice again. After some time, your body learns what to do. You do not think about every movement, you simply ride. Speaking English works in a similar way. At first you have to think about every word, you think about grammar. You think about pronunciation. You think about sentence structure. But with enough practice, English becomes more automatic. Your brain starts to recognize common expressions. You begin to speak without translating every word. This is one of the most important goals in English learning. You want English to become familiar. And the best way to make English familiar is repetition. Repetition is not boring, repetition is powerful. When you hear the same sentence many times, your brain remembers it. When you read the same expression many times, it becomes familiar. When you speak the same sentence many times, it becomes easier to say. This is why listening every day is so important. You do not need to listen to difficult English. Start with easy English. Listen to something that you can understand. Maybe you understand 60%, that is okay. Maybe you understand 70%, that is even better. But you do not need to understand 100%. Your goal is to become familiar with English. Listen to the rhythm, listen to the pronunciation. Listen to how words connect together. Listen to how people express their ideas, and listen again. The first time may be difficult. The second time may be easier. The third time may be much easier. This is how your brain learns. You hear, you understand, you repeat, you remember, then you use it. This process may look simple, but it is extremely effective. Another powerful habit is reading. Reading can help you learn vocabulary naturally. When you read a story, you see words inside sentences. You do not just learn one word. You learn how that word is used. For example, you may learn the word improve. You can learn, I want to improve my English. Then you can create another sentence. I want to improve my pronunciation, then another. I want to improve my listening skills. Now the word is not just a word. It becomes part of your English. That is much more useful than simply memorizing a dictionary definition. Try to read something every day. It can be a short story, it can be a simple article. It can be an English conversation. It can even be a few sentences. The important thing is consistency. You do not need to read 50 pages every day. You can start with 1 page. 1 page every day is better than 50 pages once a month. This is a very important lesson. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. Doing something small every day is often better than doing something big only once in a while. Think about exercise. If you exercise for 10 minutes every day, your body can become stronger over time. Learning English works the same way. 10 minutes of English every day can become a powerful habit. 15 minutes can be even better. 30 minutes can be excellent. The important thing is that you keep doing it, and please remember this. Do not compare your English with someone else's English. Maybe someone speaks English very well. Maybe they learned English when they were young. Maybe they have lived in an English-speaking country. Maybe they practice for several hours every day. Their journey is different from yours. You do not need to compete with them. You only need to compare yourself with the person you were yesterday. Ask yourself, am I better than yesterday? Do I understand more than last month? Can I say more sentences than before? If the answer is yes, you are making progress. Be proud of that. Sometimes progress is difficult to notice. You may study English for 1 week and feel like nothing has changed. Do not worry. Learning is happening quietly. It is like planting a seed. You put the seed in the ground, you give it water, you give it sunlight. But for a while you cannot see anything. Does that mean nothing is happening? No. Something is happening under the ground, the roots are growing. Then one day a small green leaf appears. Learning English is like that. Your practice is the water. Your patience is the sunlight. And your daily effort is the care that helps your English grow. One day you will notice the results. Maybe you will understand a sentence that you could not understand before. Maybe you will recognize a word in a song. Maybe you will understand an English video without subtitles. Maybe you will have a short conversation with someone. And you will realize I have improved. That moment can give you incredible motivation. So if you are learning English right now, please do not give up. You may be slower than you want, that is okay. You may make many mistakes, that is okay. You may forget words, that is okay. You may sometimes feel tired, that is okay too. You are learning and learning takes time. The most important thing is to continue. From today, let's make English simple. Do not make your English learning too complicated. Choose a few simple activities. Listen, read, speak, repeat, that is enough to start. You can listen to English while walking, you can listen while cooking. You can listen while cleaning your room. You can listen before going to bed. You can read a few sentences in the morning. You can speak English to yourself. For example, when you wake up, say, "Good morning, I am getting up. I am going to brush my teeth, I am going to have breakfast." Then when you go outside, say, "The weather is nice today. I am going to work, I have a busy day." These sentences may seem very simple. But simple sentences are the foundation of strong English. Do not underestimate simple English. A strong building needs a strong foundation. Your English is the same. Build the foundation first, then slowly build higher. Another thing I want you to remember is this. You do not need to translate everything. When you see an English sentence, try to understand the meaning directly. For example, "I am hungry." Do not always think, "What is the Vietnamese translation?" Instead, imagine yourself feeling hungry. Imagine your stomach is empty. Imagine that you want to eat. Connect the English sentence with the meaning. This can help your brain think in English. At first, it may be difficult. But with practice, it becomes easier. And one day you may hear, "I am hungry." And you will understand it immediately. No translation, no complicated thinking, just meaning. That is the kind of English ability we want. Natural understanding, natural speaking, and natural communication. So my friends, learning English is not about being perfect. It is about becoming better. It is about building a habit. It is about using English a little every day. You do not need to study for 5 hours. You do not need to memorize a huge dictionary. You do not need to understand every grammar rule. Start small, stay consistent, and keep moving forward. If you feel that English is difficult today, remember this. Difficulty does not mean you cannot do it. It simply means you are still learning. If you cannot understand something today, you may understand it next month. If you cannot speak a sentence today, you may speak it naturally in the future. If you make a mistake today, that mistake can help you speak better tomorrow. Never let one bad day convince you that you cannot learn English. One bad day is just one bad day. Start again tomorrow. Actually, you can start again right now. Take a deep breath. Forget about the mistakes you made before. Forget about the time you wasted. Forget about the English you could not understand. You are here now, and that is what matters. Your English journey can start again today. You can make a simple promise to yourself. I will learn English every day, maybe only 10 minutes, but I will do it. I will listen every day. I will read every day. I will speak every day. I will not be afraid of mistakes. I will keep going. If you make this promise and keep it, your English will change. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but slowly, quietly, and surely. You will become better, so from today stop saying English is too difficult. Instead say English is difficult now, but I can learn it. That small change in your thinking can make a big difference. Believe in yourself, be patient with yourself, practice every day. And enjoy the journey, because English is not only a school subject. English can open doors. It can help you communicate with people from different countries. It can help you find information. It can help you study. It can help you work. It can help you travel. And most importantly, it can give you access to a much bigger world. The world is full of knowledge. And a lot of that knowledge is available in English. So learning English means giving yourself more opportunities. You are not learning English only to pass an exam. You are learning English to expand your world. And that is a beautiful reason to keep learning. My name is Peter, and I am also learning. I am not perfect, I still make mistakes. But I keep practicing, and I believe that every learner can improve. You can improve too. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you have more free time. Don't wait until you know enough vocabulary. Start with what you have. Start with what you know. Start today. Listen to one English sentence. Read one English paragraph. Speak one English sentence. Then repeat it tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. Little by little, day by day, step by step. Your English will become stronger. And one day you will look back and realize something amazing. English was never impossible. You simply needed the right method, you needed patience, you needed practice, and you needed to keep going. So my friends, from today, learning English is no longer something you need to fear. It is something you can enjoy. It is something you can practice. It is something you can improve. And it is something you can achieve. Believe in yourself, keep listening, keep reading, keep speaking, keep repeating, and never give up. Your English journey has already begun. Now take the next step. I will see you in the next lesson. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself.